All right, we're going to watch Charlie's breaststroke here. We're going to watch it first at full speed. Just going to see a couple different things, see what we're going to look at. Good Dalton kick. Okay. Let's pause this and kind of restart it over. As we get into our breaststroke, the first thing we want to talk about is right here. As you're finishing that kick, you can kind of see that your eyes are looking up. So you're in a streamline position, but by lifting that head, you're creating a little bit more resistance, a little more drag. Keep those eyes down. Keep your head down. As you start that stroke, you really want to lift your head up with your shoulders. You don't want to lift your chin up to breathe. You want to lift that head up with that shoulders. Trying to keep your spine in line is what we talk a lot about. As you start that stroke, you do a good job of bringing your hands back, but you start to curve them in a little bit too early. You want those hands right here, pointing more down. All right, so let's make sure we spread those hands out just a little bit wider. Okay, you can see you started that pull, and what you really do is you kind of bend your elbows in and your hands in instead of pressing those hands out. You want those hands pressing out just a little bit past the shoulders, and you kind of get to those shoulders and you try and keep your hands in. So press out just a little bit further. As you start to get those hands forward and that head down, which is really good there, you can start to see you're engaging in that kick. So that's fantastic. That helps with good timing. But again, as you finish your kick, you're actually started your pull. Okay, here your feet aren't together, so let's watch your feet, right? If you look at your hands up here, you started your pull, but your feet aren't together. Okay, you're already halfway into your first part of your pull, and now your feet have finally come together. So stretch out that glide a little bit longer, let those feet come together, then start the pull. Don't do it quite so quickly, okay? Now, let's look at your kick. So you want to bring your feet into your hips. So you're doing that really well. But the other thing that you're doing is you're almost bringing your knees underneath your belly, okay? As you get right here, you can see those knees and those hips are almost together. You want to try and keep those knees back just a little bit more, all right? So you don't want to bring your legs quite so much underneath your body. Okay, so do try to work on that just a little bit, and that will help, I think, make that breaststroke not so jumbled at the end. Okay, your hips are a little high here too. You're doing a good job of finishing your kick. We want to just a little bit here to see where you are after that first kick phase. All right, so you can see right here, you can see that resistance, that drag going on in that head by lifting that head up. And your kick is not fully together, and kind of see that your hands are started. So again, let's really make sure we think about that, okay? All right, let's get into our turn. You know what, actually, before we go into our turn, let's rewind it a little bit here. Because I think you can kind of see a little bit better where your kick is, right? All right, so we're right across from us. All right, here's your hips. Okay, that's a straight line, and you can see your knees are now past your hips. Okay, so don't let those knees come in quite so much towards your belly. Does that make sense? I think that's a good illustration of where your legs are. You want your legs more back here and there, right here. Okay, so don't let those legs come back so far, or come in so far. All right, as we get into our turn, a little deep. We see this a lot where people go on that very last stroke, they think they have to go down and then up to that turn. We don't want to go down and up. We want to keep that stroke always moving forward. The fast way from point A to point B is always going to be a straight line. It's not this line here. Okay, so don't let yourself dive down in that turn. All right, as you drive in, right away you can see you're starting to get those feet stacked. Okay, that's good. Did a good job of getting your hand off that wall. You can see your elbows already in there, but you're turning those hips a little bit to the side instead of straight underneath your body. Remember, you want to drive your legs straight underneath your body into that turn. Okay. Good job of getting your hand off that wall before your feet touch. Now your feet position, your feet position right here. I like that. They're a little bit on an angle. You could probably lift them up a little bit more, but I like where your angle is, so you did a good job of adjusting your feet correctly. This streamline, awesome. I love it when you can barely see any blue water right there from the top of your head between your elbows. That means you got a nice tight streamline, so that's great, Charlie. You start your pull just a shade before those flags, okay? So that's a good long glide, but the first thing you do is you look forward when you do that pull. Don't look forward, okay? Let's try and keep your elbows, too, a little bit more right here with your shoulders, okay? You don't want those elbows dropping so much. You want to make sure those elbows are following your hand, not before your hands. As you can see, your hands are here, your elbows here, so you're kind of dragging your elbow a little bit. You want those hands to pull back a little bit more. Good job of finishing your dolphin kick. Your hands are on the front of your thighs. That's good. Again, your eyes are looking here. You want your eyes looking there. Okay? It's a good streamline position here, but once you lift your head up, you create a little more resistance, and we want to get rid of that resistance as much as possible. We want to be in a streamlined body position. Good underwater kick. Good job of driving your hands forward. Your breakout is perfect. You held that underwater kick really well, but you can see right here as you're breaking the surface, you started that pull. I mean, that's excellent. Charlie, that's about as good as you can make it as far as the underwater pull out, as far as getting up to start that stroke. So that's fantastic. Well done. I like that, Charlie. Good job. Thank you.